What's your definition of a heart-led business?
My definition of a heart-led business is something that you dedicate your life to that has meaning to you based off of either an experience that you had that has changed your life and or an experience that one of your family members or loved ones has had that has changed their life and I've seen that happen. And so I think where you wake up in the morning and it's not a job and it's something that you don't think about retiring from, that those are the definitions of a heart-led business to me.
Oh, very cool. So what inspired you to then start the heart-led business? What's your story?
Well, initially, I started the path of wanting to become a chiropractor because of a hip issue I was having when I was 10 years old. At the time, then I was one of the tallest and strongest kids my age, and I could dominate. But for whatever reason, at that age point, 10, I started developing after 20 minutes of running a completely limp leg.
Mm.
So I could not even like bear weight on my leg and went to see all the regular doctors and specialists. And their solution was, "Hey, your muscles are not strong enough." Told my parents he needs to stop playing sports because he's just not built for this. And my dad was seeing a chiropractor for a herniated disc at the time, and so he asked the guy, like people ask me now about their kids, "Hey, do you want to check out my kid? He's got this going on." And he said, "Absolutely." I went with my dad, and the chiro checked me out. He did some x-rays, said, "Hey, you're 19 millimeters off in your pelvis. So your one leg is 19 millimeters longer than the other leg." So he proposed 8 treatments and he gave me a lift in my shoe to wear as a heel lift temporarily. And, with 8 weeks, what I was having problems with, because I got taken there at the age of 12. So between 10 and 12, I was having these problems.
Oh,
And at the age of 12, I was taken there. So after 2 years of no answers and basically you got to stop playing sports, this guy fixed me in 8 weeks with a heel lift and a couple adjustments. And I was just blown away, not only by the result, but by his bedside manner, by his enthusiasm for what he was doing, his stories about other patients that he was dealing with that were very similar cases to mine. I was like, I got to do what that guy does. Because I initially, as a kid, wanted to become just a regular doctor to help people. And that completely changed my path to I no longer want to be a regular doctor in that smelly, sterile, iodine environment to doing this. And then by the time I got into chiropractic school, so from the age of 12, I was getting all my prerequisites to do that. By the time I got to Chiro, I had played university football, which I wasn't supposed to do according to these doctors because I wasn't built for it. And I had sustained an injury, concussion, they said, while I was playing university football. And then when I went into chiropractic school, this hip thing that I went into there with a passion for became a passion for trying to figure out what the heck happened to my head to cause these symptoms that I was having after that injury. And that led me to the path where I am now, is that it was a several decades of discovery and ongoing right now that brought me to the conclusion that myself, I did not sustain a brain injury. I sustained an upper neck injury, which affects my brain stem.
oh,
And the vast majority of patients now that I deal with both locally in my US and my Canadian clinic, as well as international patients that contact me for advice and guidance as to what might be going on with them, inevitably the problem ends up being for the vast majority of us in the upper neck, thereby affecting the brainstem as opposed to in the brain or in the skull, affecting the brain. And so the passion that I have for that stems from my own issues and the misdiagnosis of my issues, and then coming to the end point where I've not only found the cause, but have been working on solutions, temporary solutions, albeit because it is a permanent injury that has no natural fix. It's not like a broken bone that mends itself and you're good to go after 8 to 10 weeks and you can start doing whatever. These are fibrous connective tissues that I've injured and these other patients have injured that have no healing capacity.